know you're frightened. You're not ready.
He's not going to stop. Not until he's taken everyone.
Let's do it. Your friends have lost.
Welcome back, everyone. Netflix dropped a brand new Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 trailer. We'll break it down. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. They totally did the thing. They put the Kate Bush song in the trailer. Everybody predicted that would happen after Episode 4 blew up with the Kate Bush song. Kate Bush came out in real life and said she's really happy to see their songs super popular again. Stuff like this happens all the time with nostalgic series like Stranger Things, which trades on a lot of 80s tropes. Like every time a new Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes out, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we'll have a bunch of new songs from the 70s. All those songs will hit the charts again after the movie comes out. We should call the theme of Volume 2 Still Running Up That Hill. But there's a bunch of brand new footage here. Vecna has come back into the normal dimension from the Upside Down. Big reminder too, there are only 2 episodes in Volume 2. Episode 8 is titled Papa, and Episode 9, the finale, is titled The Piggyback. Obviously, Papa refers to Brenner because that's what number 11 used to call him. I'm sure some of the other kids called him Papa as well too. Maybe number 1 also used to call him Papa, but it sounds like when Brenner was developing the program based on what happened with number 1, like he said that he developed the program because he wasn't able to control him. Like he branded him number 1 when he developed the program, and that's when he put the self-destruct device in him. So I think as much as it's a reference to 11 calling him Papa, it's also a reference to number 1 also calling him Papa with a more negative connotation. He's always been portrayed as something of a dirtbag, so I did think it was kind of weird when we saw 11 referring to him as Papa again during Season 4. Like, even though it seems like she kind of resents him and everything that he did, she still treats him kind of like a father figure, which is kind of messed up. Like, he's probably the most messed up father figure in Stranger Things, just because of the way he treated all these children as test subjects. But you can post all your theories in the comments below, what you think the title of the finale, The Piggyback, refers to. Like, what is piggybacking? And is this a reference to the Mind Flayer piggybacking on number 1 on his way into the regular dimension? If you missed my last trailer video, I also clarified what the producers, what the actors have said about how the Upside Down was initially created. They said that it was always meant to look like this place here. It was called the Nether before they called it the Upside Down. They actually started to call it the Upside Down during Season 1 after fans started watching the series and just termed it the Upside Down. So they said, okay, why don't we just make that canon? It's called the Upside Down now. But when she pushes number 1 into this place, it looks like this mostly until you get to the events of Season 1. In the early 80s, she opens the Mother Gate, and they say what happened when she did that is that both of the dimensions started to overlap more fully and combine into one. Like the fact that the gate was left open allowed that to happen more and more. So like the longer the gate is open or the bigger the gate is, the more the 2 different dimensions start to overlap, and that's what the Mind Flayer wants. As Dusty speculated, the Mind Flayer basically wants to eat other dimensions, consume or absorb other dimensions into the Upside Down, his own dimension.
Who do we know that wants to take over the world? The Mind Flayer. So if the Demogorgon was just his foot soldier, Vecna's his 5-star general.
That's why even though they're hyping up number 1 trying to get his revenge for everything that happened to him, like coming into the real dimension and killing all these people, eventually killing Brenner too, it sounds like the Mind Flayer might have been waiting for this opportunity and just manipulating him this whole time to try and do that, so that it can fully piggyback itself, like physically exist in the normal dimension and take it over, just like the Upside Down. Because every time in previous seasons when we see the Mind Flayer, we just see aspects of it or things that it controls acting in the normal dimension. Like you have the Demogorgon during Season 1, then you have the Demodogs during Season 2. The Mind Flayer starts pushing more of itself, more of the Upside Down into the normal dimension. During Season 3, you have that giant flesh puppet that was being controlled by the Mind Flayer. It was sort of like an aspect of the Mind Flayer, so to speak, or like an avatar of it. But we haven't seen the actual Mind Flayer physically come into the normal dimension yet. Just going through the scenes in the trailer, at the beginning here, this seems like Brenner during the 1970s when she opened the first gate. And this is the remnants of what she just did as a young girl, closing the gate behind number 1 after she pushed him into the Upside Down initially. Then there's another scene of what looks like Max during the events of Season 4, Part 1. Like this seems like a flashback to Part 1. Even though Brenner's voiceover is him talking to Eleven about being scared, obviously it's meant to be that kind of vibe with every different group on the series. Everybody is feeling really weird. It sounds like Brenner's trying to keep Eleven from going back to Hawkins or helping her friends with Vecna. And remember, it's not just the Vecna, he also has enough power to control most of the lesser forces of the Upside Down, even though technically those are meant to come from the Mind Flayer. Like, we see him controlling the demo bats, we also see him controlling the demo dogs as well in the trailer. Then when you see Nancy fighting a version of Vecna inside the Hawkins lab, the weird thing is you see all these people look like they've just been killed, but it's hard to tell if this is happening in the real world or if this is a flashback and it's just more of the vision that she was getting from Vecna during Season 4 Part 1. Like, we all feel like he's going to step through one of the gates, he will make it into Hawkins. Like, the finale is titled Piggyback, so it's all about the upside down stuff piggybacking into the normal dimension, so eventually they will make it into the normal dimension. But so much of the ending during Part 1 was Nancy getting all these visions of Vecna's backstory, so it's hard to tell if this is just more of that, or if this is happening in present day and he's made it back. We get a little bit more from Will. There wasn't a whole lot going on with him during the first part of the season. They just set up this whole mystery painting like it was going to be some big reveal about himself, but it also sounded like it was going to be tied to the big reveal or how they end things during Season 4. Because even though it seems like he's kind of taken a back seat recently, it's always seemed like Will's had a special connection with the Mind Flayer and what's going on in the Upside Down just in general. So you can let me know how you think that Will is going to help them defeat Vecna during the finale. Mac's still walking around with her headphones and her tape player just in case she needs to listen to more of that Kate Bush. Just keep it on the ready just in case. This is a scene of Eddie grabbing his electric guitar because it sounds like inside the Upside Down they play heavy metal music to just confound the demo bats and just the forces of the Upside Down so that they get confused. Early theory is that it winds up being a riff on something that their band plays and it's just a big pop culture deep cut. Most of the music during Stranger Things are meant to be pop songs from the 80s. We get a little more footage of Hopper's group in Russia, and like I said, this is just them looking at the remnants of the Russian gate. Remember, the Russians tried to open a gate at the beginning of Season 3, unsuccessfully at the time, and that's why they came to the United States, created the mall, and tried to use the Mother Gate. It sounds like whatever they were doing during Season 4 just weakened the barriers, so even though the Russians' gate initially was unsuccessful, it cracked open just enough to weaken the barrier, and now you see what's going on here. A lot of people worried about Steve's life during the finale, but I do think that all the mains will make it into Season 5. And real big reminder, there is going to be a Season 5. They said there would be a bigger time jump than there was between Season 3 and Season 4, just to accommodate the actors' ages. And I think what we're all expecting is they'll defeat Vecna somehow during these last 2 episodes, but the threat of the Mind Flayer will be like the main villain during Season 5. And both the Upside Down and the normal dimension will overlap so much that they'll kind of combine into one, so the entire planet will start to look like you see in Hawkins here, like it'll get way worse. Presumably then, when they pick up during Season 5, Episode 1, they'll have just existed in this sort of combined state with the Upside Down just spilling into the normal dimension and just trying to fight everything and stay alive. It'll be like Walking Dead in the Stranger Things universe. We're living in an Upside Down apocalypse. It sounds like Max Lucas and his sister going to the Creel house will have something to do with defeating Vecna and doing it at his house. Like, that will probably be central to getting rid of him during the finale. Otherwise, why would they need to go back to his house? You also see Lucas fighting the rest of the football team at the Creel house, so it sounds like they follow him there or try to find out what's going there, thinking that they're doing something crazy and not really understanding what's going on with Vecna and the Upside Down. The whole subplot with the football team going off the rails and thinking that Dungeons & Dragons is evil, heavy metal music is evil, all that stuff, is very hit or miss. Like, either you enjoy that stuff or you just find it kind of annoying. Personally, I would have rather they spent more time with some of the other characters, like they spent a lot of time in the episodes on those football characters. We also see what looks like Eleven inside the Upside Down version of Vecna's house, like that red space where you see him take all of his victims. Whatever she winds up doing to defeat him, it will happen inside this space. Remember, it's very Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors kind of vibe to the season. That was the whole point in having the Robert Englund cameo during the season. They had Freddy Krueger cameo during the series because number 1 and Vecna have so many Freddy Krueger vibes to them. So they're really just trying to hype up the finale ending in a giant wizard battle between Eleven with her upgraded powers and Vecna, who seems like he's gotten a couple power upgrades too the last season. I know there's a bunch of questions about what's going on with number 8. Is she going to come back and help out? I talked about that during my last video. I'm not expecting her during these final 2 episodes, but she might show up during Season 5. It feels like there are a couple hanging plot threads across all the seasons, and they'll try to answer all those questions during Season 5, because that's supposed to be the final season. There were also a bunch of other questions people had about what was going on with MK Ultra, the other participants, what was going on with the Upside Down, the Mind Flayer. I answered some of those during my previous video, so I'll link that at the end of this too. Everyone post all your theories in the comments below. Only have a couple weeks to wait before they drop the final episodes. My next big video will be my Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 6 finale video. Make sure you enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Everyone click here for that other brand new Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2 trailer video. And click here for my brand new Thor Love and Thunder trailer video with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.